baby, let us get it now. To happiness we all rejoice. Yes, we are the children of God. We are praying for the moment, when heaven will call for us, and the world will talk about us, so no one else have to die. All this nation would respect us, understand we just wanna go back home. No amount of contest to show, cause we all got possessed and the spirit is in me. Yes, once again we are back. We are not going anywhere. Pekin we say mama no go sleep, himself certainly no go sleep. If Nigerian home video can get season 1 to season 100, why are we going to back up? Have you not watched Nigerian home video? You will just see they will do this is they will call the name of the film. Before you know, they are doing adverts. Advert will take the whole of film, and then they bring one actor. The actor will be sleeping and dreaming, and as he wake up from dream, you hear dan season 2. This is season 2. Yoruba on Facebook continue. The Oshi. But of course, where I was before I was caught up, I was talking about BBC. The first thing this morning I saw was BBC. BBC. He said Igbo youth attack Nigerian president Igbo criminals in South Africa attack president. I say yes, all set, Yana. We've been waiting for all of you. Register your present. Because of the issue of Biafra, the world is placed on trial. And then I remind you about our topic again. Deceptive mindset behind the change of narrative. Something is happening this way. They are distracting you. Of course, for further introduction, you reference to part 1. This is part 2, season 2. And all of a sudden, BBC now remember that, we have Igbo criminals. They are in South Africa. They attack the president. BBC. It is better all of you die on time, because delaying your death, you don't know what it will cost all of you. And now I would start by first of all appreciating IPOB family in South Africa. Those of you who took your time, you went there to ask the imposter Jubri question. You don't know how much we are proud of you. I will not mention your name on air, but we have your record. You are truly the children of your father. It is a genuine Biafran woman that gives birth to you. You have the right to question Buhari. Anywhere you see Jubri, you will question him. We will question him. It is our right. It's in Nigerian constitution. Right to civil disobedience is still under the same principle of asking Jubri question. It doesn't mean before Nigeria was so mighty, so powerful. Who the hell are you to talk when Fulani man guided by a British government is in charge? But look at how the mighty has fallen. Jubri now, supposedly president of Giant of Africa, is now hiding from one backyard to another. God will punish all of you. They shoot the South African monkey and babu with gun. They shoot IPOB. They shoot them. I hope they have justice system put in place in South Africa, because it has started. They shoot IPOB. Are you people not ashamed, Nigerians? Are you not ashamed? Look at ordinary small boy now. He's chasing your president all about. I thought it's Giant of Africa. Can Brutai go there? I'm sorry for all of you. When we are done with you, it doesn't matter. And now let me tell you, IPOB across the globe. Every country in Africa, many of them are ready to shoot us. We owe them one bullet. South African has given their own. We expect them to do more. The case is in South African court, and we shall be tried. If we are found guilty, we will pay. But if we are not found guilty, South Africa must understand that Biafra predates South Africa. Of course, I say Biafra predates South Africa because the two nations existed side by side, but their name was not South Africa. It was ruled under a monarch known as Shaka the Zulu. He allowed Oyibo to enter their land. He was a warrior, very fierce one, who stopped the Europeans from invading Africa. But out of soft mind, they conquer them. Today, yeah, I mean, it's South Africa. Are you a Zulu man? Who the hell are you? And then he fought. Maybe he changed the narrative. We will get there. So when you talk about South Africa, you are in the same category with Nigeria. We are not in the same category with you. We are Biafrans. And then you tell me you have Zulu Empire, among others. And then maybe we begin to see you as human being. And so when you come out, you are protecting an imposter, supposedly African people like Nelson Mandela fought for. It keeps me wondering, maybe we have forgotten some of the things behind South Africa. There is no Fulani in South Africa except in their embassy. No Fulani has helped to build South Africa in any way. They don't do that. The only thing is that stealing the oil in Biafra land to give to South Africa is the handwork of Fulani. But we will get there. And so if based on that, you think you will shoot us and we will run away, xenophobia, American phobia, China phobia, Japan phobia, Congolese phobia, there is no phobia that will move us anywhere in this world. We will be a testament to the true strength of those and character of those who fight for freedom. IPOB have a reputation to protect, a reputation that is built on discipline, a reputation that is built by laying down everything that we have. Believe me, oil will be taken from us. Our silver and gold will be taken from us. Our reputation will live. It will last beyond the pyramids of Egypt, because 1,000 generations of Homo sapiens yet unborn will speak about our exploit this day. For in the hand, our hands are clean. And so that is the reason why we, Biafrans, must pay attention to our topic this evening. Our leader did all he could, pointing out major things you need to understand, but you may not be able to comprehend it. And so maybe let's break it down. I want you to listen to this audio very carefully.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. And one of the most important weapons in changing yourself is to recognize that is, people everywhere in the world. We can at last look upon our own country as one in which citizens, regardless of race, gender or creed, share equal political rights and opportunities for development. We do so with great gratitude towards the millions upon millions all around the world who materially and morally supported our struggle for freedom and justice. I was in the company of great men indeed. Some of them are more qualified, more talented than I am. And to sit down with them, to exchange views, was one of the most revealing experiences I had. To sit down with those men and exchange views, it enriched your own life. It fortified your morality. It gave you courage to do better than your best. One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies. Anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation. You have a limited time to stay on earth. You must try and use that period for the purpose of transforming your country into what you desire it to be. A democratic, non-racial, non-sexist country. Humility is one of the most important qualities which you must have. Because if you are humble, if you make people realize that you are no threat to them, then people will embrace you. They will listen to you.
Yes, South Africa, that is the voice of a true South African man, the genuine descendant of Zulu. That was the voice of Nelson Mandela. Today, are you not ashamed of yourself? I remember when Nelson Mandela was locked up in Liberty Island. I remember when his son was killed and pretended they changed the narrative as if he died of motor accident, brake failure. Can you, a South African man, come out today and tell me that Nelson Mandela his only son, died of motor accident? Now you have become gang of part of those people who murdered and raped your father. You think Fulani will make you undermine us? We are in your court. We have received your bullet. Prepare more. I will say temporarily. I really have no need to say that. As of this moment, I am the African rep. And so, coordinators across Africa, prepare your heart for every country in Africa. Certainly, will steal oil from our resources through the Fulani, and we are owing them one bullet. They will shoot us. But this is Africa. This is the land of our ancestors. And I will remind them about Mazizi Kunene. He said, African, my African. Africans of whom my grandmother sings of, I have never known you, but your blood flows in my vein. But now, Biafrans has known you. Indeed, your blood flows in our vein. Your beautiful black blood that irrigates the field. The blood of your sweat, the sweat of our work, the work of our slavery. African, could it be your wisdom? Could it be your weight that is bent under the weight of humiliation? Wake up. Why do you steal that which belongs to you already? Why will you murder your own for that which belongs to you already? But let me tell you the truth. We will not will for goose and cowrie. For palm oil and the spiritual ash, for yarn do not meet in amulet. Last night we had it. It was not in a dream. The sound of your bullet and arrow's trumpet, as if a village was marching towards a graveyard. Get ready. We're just looking at Africa. AU, EU, WU, in Africa here. All of you get ready. We died enough in the desert. We died enough in the Mediterranean Sea. We die as slaves here in Africa, within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Africa, respect yourself. We are waiting for Congo, Brazil. 2 weeks is counting. That useless pastor, we are waiting for you. Prepare your bullet. Prepare your Conan. They invaded our land with guns and bullets. You are helping them to protect and preserve this slavery by your insincerity. We are not going anywhere. We don't want to conquer South Africa. We don't want to conquer Fulani. We don't want to conquer Yoruba. We do not want to conquer Congo, Brazzaville, not even Malaysia, Indonesia, America, or Britain. We are here to exercise our right to self-determination without fear. Our leader talks about something. Is it Kashmir they call it? We know what they suffer in the hands of India. But it's unbelievable. India, having suffered thousands of years in the hand of British government, we subdue Kashmir to the same condition. But then, United Nations gave a coverage to Kashmir. What about Biafrans? The first country in Africa to activate the right to self-determination. What gives you right to gain independence? Why Biafrans are still here today and you are bringing out your gun to shoot us? You think your xenophobia will stop us? All of you don't know what is coming for you. The last battle is in the house and certainly the beginning. Yoruba Facebook caught me on time. Let's go to season 3. Every one of your stupidity will be recorded. And then our people came. British installed a dummy, a robot in the government house. And then Rimophobia, whatever the name of the hopeless president of South Africa is without apology. He say, oh, we are signing bilateral agreement with Nigeria. Is it Vinasovia or Humasovia? And so when you see Fumaphobia, don't look for where they are coming from. We are signing an agreement and bilateral. Those of you in South Africa, you stand your ground. And those of you in other African countries, you stand your ground. Is it Okezie Ekpazo or Willie Obiano or David Umaru? Who is going to do Iriji anywhere in the world? It's a shame that now your so-called giant of Africa, Nigerian president, guided by Brutai, Magu, Abba Kyari, among other criminals, now they are now hiding following backyard. Don't worry. You can change the narrative. You don't know what is coming for you. All this time, IPOB have been molded down. People we attack in the house of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, British government, 419 media outfit. The voice of the terrorists in Africa, British government, BBC, has been moved. And all of a sudden, we just asked Jubri in South Africa, come, let's do DNA test. Is that too much to ask for? We didn't ask him to return the loot. Start up somewhere in Britain. Are we asking Buhari wife to come and do anything? What concerns us with her? We simply say, Buhari, you are not Buhari. You can't speak for food any longer. Come for DNA test. Is that too much to ask for? And then you are shooting live bullet. And then BBC immediately pick it up. But of course, we are moving ahead. The Igbo, how did they say? Igbo criminal in South Africa attacked the president of Nigeria. But they came late. You know, not IPOB, Igbo, which means there are Igbos that are criminal, and there are Igbo that are not criminal. The Igbos that are criminal are the ones fighting for their freedom. The ones that are not criminal are the mixed blood. Some of them, their blood is mixed with British government blood. Most of you don't know that Bob Marley is from Britain. A Britain man raped a Jamaican woman, and they gave birth to Bob Marley. Bob Marley never had a good life growing as a child. The people never wanted him. But we love him today because he knows the crime of his father, but the love of his mother ruled him to the end. He was murdered. These are some of the truth they don't tell you. BBC don't tell you. BBC has come out now. They are very fast to tell you, when the Hausa na Swibo n'Enugu. When the Igbo n'Ezuoshi na South Africa. But BBC will never tell you that these people, this Indio Shindi Igbo known as South Africa, they feel that this man is Jubri. But don't worry, changing the narratives, that is what they do. And if you are among the genuine people, you changing the narrative to suit you. You don't know what is coming for you. Once again, I appreciate you, comrade in South Africa. You have done well. And now you are making us to begin to believe that those of us in Biafra land here, we are not doing well. America is going to prove us right. German made us very proud. I'm not saying everybody in Germany, they know themselves. Every country stand. The journey has just begun. Hey, they are killing us. South Africa, buy more bullets. Buy more bullets. Other African countries, get ready. We were here. Cotonou arrested our coordinator. Detain him. We do not hold it against them. Because having cross-examined and understand that it's our right to self-determination, they were allowed to go. South African has taken the list. No, we have in Congo Brazzaville. And then there is one criminal pastor who we have given 2 weeks. All of you will look for where you will hide. It shall be like on the end day. Where men and women will ask rock to fall upon them, and rock will refuse. Death will reject all of you. We are waiting for you. Your 2 weeks is counting. And then there is another one in India. I promise not to speak about it, but believing that men and women will do the right thing. All of you don't know the thunder that is jamming for all of you. And there's South Africa police who refused to shoot one person during xenophobia. It's not shooting IPOB. South Africans should go back to their record. No Fulani fought for them. Let me remind them again. Many musicians, Biafra musicians, we fought with everything. Most of you do not know we had Nelson Mandela when it was time. Can we begin to talk about Orusuliki? Can we talk about Mandatos? Can we talk about Raskimono? Who musician are we not going to talk about? Rula Lady Dan and Margaret Thatcher, Ngobati and Peter Buota, all of them just come together. They want to be the black master. You think we have forgotten? These are Biafrans. Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May, hey, free Africa. All these are for South Africa. Today, to pay us back, you are shooting us. You will not change the narratives. We will tell you the truth. Of course, we will go to court in South Africa, and certainly we will go to court even in heaven and in hell. I said once again, every coordinator, national coordinator in Africa, prepare your heart. Prepare your heart. Prepare your heart. For if in this, because of this cause, we will die, we will choose how we will die. Nobody will point where we will die for us. But let it be on record. that because we fight for our freedom, we die. And as free man, we choose to die. For nobody will take our life from us except we choose to lay it down. That man you hold, you will beg him to leave. You know, be South Africa, Pretoria, we will go to the nook and cranny of Pretoria. We are not Nigeria. You can kill Nigeria in xenophobia. We will come to that later, changing the narratives. And once again, I thank you, comrades in South Africa. You have done very well. You're not perfect, but believe me, I'm very proud of you. I feel like coming to South Africa now. You know, just to follow you people, you know. You've done very well. Many more will have to die. Many more will have to suffer. Our last battle line is Africa. Africa that is supposed to rise up and save her children. Old worn-out cargoes are trying to publish Africa to the next generation, selling us to China and Japan and America and Britain. How long do you think you will do this? And we keep quiet. African youth, wake up. Don't let this worn-out old cargo to deceive you. You will be there. They will continually impoverish you. And so you never have a say. African American, African Chinese, African Indian, African criminal, African born again. All of you rise up and stop deceiving yourself. If we do not come together as one impenetrable unit and flush out this virus in our midst, they will hunt all of us down one after the other. But of course, many are called, but few are choosing. Let us move ahead, my brothers. Like I said, changing the narratives. We must understand how all these things function. One of the greatest spells that is being constantly renewed to undermine our position as a people is always by changing the narratives. Considering what happened in South Africa, still going on in Congo, Brazzaville, it will follow also suit in many countries in Africa. They will always change the narratives. They have one target. Without Radio Biafra today, they will blackmail all of us. The first segment before now, we were talking about foreign children. I said I don't want to mention name because their time will come. Tomorrow now, they will get Uche Oga and making governor of Abia State. Have Abia State people find out who Uche Oga is, who his father is? And I don't know what they do now, Sefu. And there are some genuine Biafran children from Abia State. Hey, vote Uche Oga, vote Uche Oga. Thunder will fire all of you. Go and find out who Uche Oga father is. You go to Bonne, many people answering Amayana. These are Awusa children in Bonne, in Wakereke, in Opobo. Many people you are hearing their name sounding like a John name. These are Awusa children. But I won't digress to that place. They know how to change the narratives. Thunder will fire all of you. Say, oh, it costs people. That is why I don't like it. Thunder will fire, including you. Tune off your radio. Don't listen. Go back and sit. The bullet will come to your house. I have seen people like you, hypocrites like you, being shot by Fulani. Because in the end, when your hypocrisy is investigated, it will be reviewed. Now look at South Africa again. Oh, shoot IPOB because an imposter is there and you are signing document to connect pipeline from Biafra land down to South Africa. You stealing oil. Don't worry. Don't worry. They know how to change the narratives. They know how to change this narrative. They will tell you, for instance, the road in Nigeria is bad because of trailer. Trailer is the one spoiling all the road in Nigeria. And most of you will agree. They will say it's true. All these trucks should not be applying the road by night. I mean, they should be applying the road at night, not by day. Some of you, when you do road, when they manage to tie your road for you, you put gates. Put a pole across the road. Say no truck here. Because in your mind, you believe that it's tipper and trailer that is spoiling the road. This is to tell you how stupid you are. You are very hopeless. But if trailer will not run on the road, why did they produce trailer? Oyibo knew that train cannot run Okruta, so they made a railway for train. They didn't ask train to run on the Kruta now. So when Oyibo come and do trailer, it could be with 1 million legs. Tire is tire. Personally, I understand the formation behind the technology of every vehicle tire. When you look at trucks, there is a different formation or technology behind the tire for a truck and the tire for a car. The tire for a car has the ability to absorb pressure. If it climbs a stone, it sinks in and move ahead. But the technology of formation behind the truck tire, it doesn't absorb, it bruises. And so Oyibo, who made tire of Caterpillar, also made the Crota. Let me come down to the level you will understand as a Nigerian. And so when they are doing a good road, they should be able to make it to a standard where trailer will not spoil our Crota. How many roads in Abuja did the tipper spoil? Double lasso. How many roads in America did the Mark trailer spoil? How many roads in China did the trailer spoil? Only in Nigeria. But what they normally do is that they will bring Caterpillar and create a gradient. Grade the road. They will carry poster color. If they love your community well, they use oil paint. Normally they use poster color. They will paint the graded road. It will look black. They now snap it. If it's oil paint, where you see it on Facebook, they will show it on BBC and CNN. Oh, the government have tied the road, very wonderful. The moment rain fall, or Setiana, it look like the one on Facebook now, changing the narratives. And then you say, the road they just tied yesterday, he's bad now. They say he's steeper that, but ask you them, is steeper supposed to fly in heaven? Is steeper helicopter? But they've changed the narratives. Sometimes you blame the contractors. Sometimes you blame tipper. Who is more stupid? But I don't blame you, because you do not know the policy or the principle they are using for you, changing the narratives. They will wake up and they will blame the administrative for bad governance. I see people, many of them were blaming Good Luck. Good Luck steal money, Iyejirika steal money, this one steal money, bad government were responsible for this evil, this one was responsible for this evil, this one Nigerian economy, Ketu is calling port charcoal. It was a Good Luck, Ebere Jonathan that destroyed Nigerian economy. Everything about Nigeria is Good Luck. And then we sit back and begin to watch. But what about the people who ruled before Good Luck? What about Marodiku? What about Abacha? What about Babangida? What about Obasanjo? What about Buhari first tenure? What about Shehu Shagari? What about Sheniko? You begin to mention them. All these people, Nigeria was good. Good Luck spoiled it. If they are not calling Good Luck, oh, it's PDP, it's PDP, it's PDP. But they are changing the narratives. But Nigerians, please reason. You will see the same people who were in PDP with Good Luck. All of them change canopy to APC. So as far as I'm concerned, there is no difference between PDP and APC. But they successfully changed the narratives. You see intellectual Nigerians, they will say, yes, APC is changed, APC is doing well, APC is fighting corruption, and the Chibuike Amechi was in PDP. And now he's in APC. Late Buhari was in PDP, and now he's in APC. It's only Jubri I know he was not in PDP, but now he's in APC. Abakiyari was in PDP. Kwankwaso was in PDP. Erofai was in PDP. All of them were in PDP. It's just the same lie they lie to you. The same people with Kake, General Babangida, General Buhari, General Olusegun Obasanjo, General Abacha, General Tiwa Danjuma. All of a sudden they say democracy, demonstration of grace, democracy, demonstration of grace. All of them pull their Kake and we are Bada. Today you are calling them democracy, democracy, democracy. Change of narratives. They are deceiving you. They are very stupid. When you are saying, oh, it's PDP that is the problem, forgetting that it is the same people. How long are you going to be stupid for them? Changing the narratives. The mindset behind it, you must know it. Once you know this truth, they can't deceive you. When they are doing you, just be looking at them. Offset, Yana. Don't forget our topic is simply deceptive mindset behind the change of narratives. because they want to leave you dummy. They want to leave you very stupid and hopeless. Go to Ghana. Mud house in Ghana, as I'm talking to you, are using prepaid meter. But Buhari regime in 1983 chased Ghana people out of Nigeria. Today, mud house in Ghana, even Bacha in Ghana, houses in the kitchen in Ghana have prepaid meter. Today in Nigeria, when they want to give you prepaid meter, you will bring your British passport, you will bring your American citizenship, you will bring your international passport, you will tell them how many countries you have traveled in the world, you will tell them how many PhD you have, you will bring results, certificate of your great-grandfather, the attached payment during the time of Lord Lugard and Theresa May family, just to get prepaid meter. Change of narratives. But we must continue. They will threaten to sack you because you asked for 30,000 naira minimum wage. Good luck actually increase minimum wage. We come now and say increase minimum wage. The cry for minimum wage has been on. Since I was born, I start hearing minimum wage. Minimum wage is like something like Second Niger Bridge. Minimum wage sound to me like Igbo presidency. Minimum wage looks to me like Ogoni cleanup. I think the first thing language I understand is this 4 language. The first language I understand as a baby, as I was crying, nga, 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 I begin to hear Second Niger Bridge, Second Niger Bridge. In fact, my mother said when I was crying as a baby, I was crying Second Niger Bridge. Look at old man like me, almost 90 years now. I'm still crying Second Niger Bridge. And they say immediately I could pronounce Second Niger Bridge. I started crying, Ogoni clean up, Ogoni clean up, Ogoni clean up. Look at me now. I'm still crying Ogoni clean up. The moment I stop crying Ogoni clean up, the next word I use is Igbo presidency, Igbo presidency, Igbo presidency. I'm still crying Igbo presidency. And then when I start walking, what I used to start the walking is this new one now. What is it? Minimum wage, minimum wage, minimum wage. We are still crying for minimum wage. Look at what Nigerians are telling you. How do you feel about it? They are changing the narratives. 30,000 to pay you 30,000. They are telling you that they will have to sack all of you. Ngige is saying that on behalf of Fulani. They will sack you instead of them paying you 30,000. But these people take billion, girlfriend allowance, billion. In dollars, so cooking allowance, billion. Keto allowance, billion. Pot allowance, billion. Pint allowance, billion. In dollars, so to pay you ordinary 30,000 naira, which is not up to. Now, let me tell you, somebody sent me money. And I think that money, when it was converted, is 20,000 naira. And the person say, share it with this person. And the person keeps saying, don't be offended, though. Don't be offended, though. Please, don't be offended. And I was like, somebody dashed me money because he called it in dollar. And he's begging me, don't be offended, though. Don't be offended, though. But of course, 20,000 is a big money here in Biafra land. And I was like, somebody dashed me 20,000 and said I should share with somebody. Maybe approximately 10,000 or thereabout. And he's begging me. I say, well, I'm a big boy, you. But I go by that. And then when I come to check it, that this 20,000 naira is like about maybe $2. I now understand why he's begging me. I now understand. That's okay. It looks like an insult. I come out now, I dash you 20 naira. Somebody now come out and dash my last born 20 naira. If my last boy self don't take 20, he don't take 50 naira again. He now know the difference between 50 naira, 20 naira, and 200. He's a small kid. You just give him 15 naira, I just be looking at you. And you are dashing me 20 naira. Slap what I go give you, you go suffocate. But why am I bringing this up? They know how to change the narratives. Ordinary 30,000 naira. How much is a room? But they are threatening you already. But of course, at all. Nigeria now have told you that suffering is part of education. They used to say traveling is part of education. Nigeria have upgraded. Suffering is part of education. Go and ask Nigerians. They change the narrative. Tomorrow now, your children will be saying, oh, suffering is part of education. The same way you have believed that traveling is part of education. You think every travel now travel? That's the way travel with caterpillar. Go through desert. Come enter one boat. come enter Libya or Italy. You think say na the same person will enter plane? Traveling is part of education. So traveling is part of society. I entered motor from Abo to Cotonou. As I reached there, trousers fall from my waist. I asked the asshole boy, travel they make person learn, then begin laugh me. Just ordinary motor from Abo to Cotonou. As I reach there, enter hotel, make I pull my bed, trousers don't fall. I don't my shit. That's when our leader is traveling. I just said, well, the Lord is his muzzle. Every travel no be part of education. Some travel are part of society. You don't enter boat, say you want to go Libya. As soon as enter the boat, one small fuel where they carry for keg. So in case you say you finish for road, go come pour. Then soak your shoe for a journey of almost 6 hours. Before, if God no let you die inside the Mediterranean Sea, as you they drop for border there, if you pull your shoe, only skeleton will remain inside the boot. It is say we don't know what's up. Today now, Nigerians are proudly telling you that suffering is part of education. Why wouldn't they tell you suffering is part of the education when they have changed the narrative and they are now telling you that suffering is part of education? My people, wake up. Find out the mindset when they do all these things. You believe God today na poor man prayer. So why won't suffering be part of education? They change the narratives. You must understand that they will blame the indiscriminate killing of Fulani herdsmen, Miati Allah, Boko Haram, on the youth. Today, when you listen to Nigerian news, they will say the youth in Niger Delta are militant. They are now Boko Haram. They are cultists. You will see Yoruba policemen videoing our youth, forcing them to claim that they are kidnappers, they are rapists, other name, to change the narratives. But the truth is that, who are the real kidnappers? Who are the real Boko Haram? Who are the real rapists? You will see these are the government-initiated terrorists. Let me tell you who they are. Now, I was listening to Nigerian radio yesterday, this morning, and they were talking about what the police did in Abia State. The presenter on that program couldn't control her feeling because she's a woman. And he said to the other one, Akas Baba, this thing will happen for Abia State. It tire me, say police can't carry fuel. Can't they walk out from house to the burn house? Can't they even burn people house when no know what happen? He said, Akas Baba, I just say na courts they do that thing before. How police go they do this thing? They don't put law for their hand. You know, now Pidgin English session, everybody just like, hey, now wow, it surprised me self, oh, hey, now wow. I said, so these people know the truth. So who is the cultist? Who is the kidnapper? Who is the rapist? Let me tell you who they are. But they always change the narratives. Shell is a cultist in Biafra land. Shell is responsible for any communal crisis anywhere in Biafra land. Shell is a cultist. They are the ones sponsoring Kaduna Marine in River State. Sokoto Marine in River State. It's Shell. Them bomb them well. Aye is Shell. They are the real cultists. You talk about the rapists and the kidnapper. Nigerian army are there. Whether it is artillery, whether it is Air Force, whether it is Navy. Nigerian police are there. Nigerian police have two junctions. They are part of the cultists and also the rapists and kidnapper. Boko Haram is there. Miati Allah is there. Fulani herdsmen is there. Lamido Sanusi is there. And most governors are there. These are the terrorists. But they know how to change the narratives. Look at the story they are telling you now. Oh, there is a serial killer in hotel. A serial killer who is supposedly killing our women in different hotels in Biafra land. When Nigerian Boko Haram want to interview this serial killer, they give him food and ice cream. The guy was eating fried rice. It looked like that dead body was resurrected somewhere in South Africa. As him wake up, he just give him fried rice. He know how to take the garbage with the cream. He know the difference between the garbage, the cream, and the rice. He know how to push chicken aside. You know, turn by turn chopping. Yoshi, changing the narratives. And then they say, this guy is a serial killer. We are watching them. Serial killer, Nigerian police now buy ice cream for serial killer. They are changing the narratives.